What's going on, guys? It's your boy Bobby here, back with another video. I tried doing this video once already. I'm gonna have to delete that one because I hit the wrong button. Anyways, so I'm gonna see if I can basically replicate the video, and then yeah. Anyways, yesterday I put up a short towards the end of the day on me doing some tilling. What that short basically was, and I'm just gonna basically explain it. What I did with that tiller is I was able to drop the bar down, and I'll show you guys how I did it. I dropped the bar down. I'm gonna flip this around so I can show you. Looks pretty good. I dropped the bar down and I started from this side over here, but I went down, turned around, came back up and walked it back up, and I went down each and every time because every time I started from down there, I always had trouble bringing it back up. So I started from the top up here, went all the way down, turned around, came back, ripped all this up, and then I started from the top again, or I think I started from the bottom, and then I went side to side, ripping all that up there. And then I tilled it twice. Actually, technically 4 times, because I went down and up twice, and then I went side to side twice to get it tilled up. And then I'm gonna end up tilling it up again before I get everything planted, because it's not, this has never been planted. This whole spot here and the other spot that I have mowed down have never ever been planted. Never. They have never had any crop, anything on it. So this is obviously going to be harder dirt to break up, even with the rear tine tiller that I have. So with that being said, like, I could put one up onto a tractor, but the one that we have on the track for a tractor out here needs to be rebuilt, and it's actually on that fence line. But it's further up and kind of over here. But it needs to be rebuilt because it was in a fire. So I got all that tilled up. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time to kind of air out, and then I'm gonna till it a few more times, try to get majority of that grass out of there before I plant. Everybody else already, from what I understand, already have their fields planted. My dad has his fields planted. But because I was waiting on a carburetor for this tiller, I wasn't able to get everything done as quickly as I wanted to. So I'm gonna go up here and I'll show you. Since I gave you guys a visual on what I did with the little food plot there, I'm gonna go up here and I'll show you the new tiller. You've seen it in the short, but I'll give you guys more of a walk down on everything I had to do to it and all that, and see what you guys think. Stand by. Alright, y'all, I'm back up here now by the house. I'll have a gander at this here tiller, see what you guys think of it, see if you guys think it did a decent job. 'Cause I don't think it did too bad. This is it here. It's a snapper tiller. My buddy bought it at an auction, and I did some work for him to get it for myself. It does need a new belt for the reverse and a cable for the reverse. Here's the lever. Here's the lever here. And then here's the cable. Here's one end of it. Here's the other end of it. And the issue with this one is somewhere inside this cable it snapped. Even with me putting WD and PB Blaster in there and trying to slowly work it, the second I even did that, so I tried working it snapped. So I need a new cable. But that does not mean, obviously, that cannot be run. With that being said, very self-explanatory to run this bad little Larry. This was bought from an auction. I don't know which one, but it obviously says it ran 4 years ago. The carburetor. So I had to replace some stuff. I replaced the carburetor. This was the old one. The jet in it was obviously clogged so bad that I had to get a new carburetor. Couldn't clean it out. I sprayed carb cleaner, brake cleaner, just about every cleaner I could. I tried taking a small piece of metal that just the right size that I can stick it in there, but it won't break, and I still couldn't get it out. This was the old spark plug. Replaced a spark plug, and it had no air filter when I got it, so I put an air filter on it. Now, in order to do all that stuff, I mean, it's self-explanatory to get to it. I had to add this washer here on this screw because this plastic piece here is actually broken on it. And I left the plastic piece that goes right there off of it because it looks really goofy. And I also left this off of it. And this is just a heat shield for that exhaust. And if you don't know not to touch an exhaust after you just ran something, then there's probably something wrong with you. But here's that plastic piece. Goes right here. Let me check this gas. Yep, still full. I don't know. This sticker looks a little, I don't know if it's right, but you see what I mean? When I turn this, it turns the fuel on. That's fuel on. That's fuel off. When you look at it, you know what I mean? So, obviously, when you have this all the way back, it's the off position. But I don't know. It was a little weird when I ran it. Because, you know, after running it for a while, it did one thing that kind of threw me off, and I don't know how to explain it. But after I turned the fuel off and I went to shut it down, you know, because this is all the way back, this is full throttle over here. I idled it all the way down, turned the fuel off, and fucking put it in the off position on the choke, and then it sat there, tried dying for like a minute or two, and then it sounded like it ran backwards or something. I don't know. I've never heard of that ever. Wasn't really smoking, so that's good. It ran really, really, really well. Let me get this thing popped off here for you. After I got the once I got the carburetor installed, it pulled off in one pull. So it's a little chilly out this morning. I wonder if it's going to take full choke or not. Two pulls. Ooh, she runs good. See what I mean? Those of you who didn't see, in order to turn that off, all I did is I just pulled that spark plug wire out. With that being said, this spark plug is a little different than the one that was actually in it. So this was obviously the one that was actually in it. You know, the one that I put in it is a little bit shorter on both ends. And this is a little bit fatter on the socket side. This was the one that came with that kit. You know, it came with the spark plug, an air filter, and the carburetor. Oh, and gaskets for the carburetor. But yeah, after I put all that stuff on there, I literally popped it off in one shot like it was nothing. And obviously, because it's a little bit chillier. Oh, this fuel filter wasn't on there either. I didn't have to buy that. That one I found out here in, I think it was that shed. But I will have to pay for it. That was a fuel filter that my dad had, so I will have to give him a little bit of money for that eventually. Not that big of a deal. It's like $5, not even. But when I told you guys that I was going to show you this bar here, this is what I was talking to you about. This here bar, you drop this all the way down, and it acts as a ripper. Like a ripper shank. And that basically allows it to do exactly what a ripper does, just on this here little tiller. Now in trying this, because I have another lot that I'm gonna have to till up, and it's kind of over in that direction. It's kind of on a hillside over there, on the other side of the pond dam. But what I thought I might do before I go and do that is I think I might sharpen the front of that, at least to where it's more angular. That way it has an easier chance of pulling stuff, or at least digging in. And the only reason why I say that, I was going at it with this tiller, and I might as well just make it like a blade, or even try to get one for it or something. But when I was tilling with it, it would and it's because I didn't mow it, I know it's that, it would hang up. There would be some stuff hanging up in there, and I even see where it was hanging up. It was all just bunching up, like right in here, in this area right here, right in front of it. But you can even see I got some twigs in here and stuff that's all wound up in there. Some grass. But for the task that I did yesterday, it worked very well. It was a little time consuming, but I do believe that was my fault, not the tiller's fault. See this big mower here, I could have ripped this down that, got all that mowed up, tilled it up, and it would have been it probably would have been a little bit easier, but I don't think it would have made much of a difference, which is why I didn't do it. Because all of that grass, I'm going to have to wait for it to either dry out, for one, or for two, I'm going to have to wait for some animal to take it off for their nest, or for it to get blown around, because I can't, well, the way I think about it is I don't want to have too much thick grass if I got to cut it, for it to bind up and stuff. Because you get clumps of that stuff. Sometimes it does come out in clumps, like you see here. But even with this mower, it doesn't happen as much as it would with, where's that other mower? over there because it has a side chute, a side exit. This one, oh, exits from the rear on all 3 decks. So it wouldn't have been as bad on this one, but if you go through tall enough stuff, it does and will send clumps of grass. But it's a little too chilly yet for me to do anything. It's not like freezing, but it's a little nippy, a little chilly. I'm probably gonna wait another day before I go and till that the other direction, and we have to change my brother's the oil in my brother's car. So we'll do that. At some point, we're going to. What was the other thing he wanted to do? Change the oil in my brother's car. There was something else I can't remember. But the other thing we've been working on is this tractor over here. It's his backhoe, and we've done a good bit of work to it. We need some tires for this thing, and we got to rehook the key back up to the shutoff solenoid, because every time you go to run it, you have to open up the back, hook everything up, and then close it, turn it on, and then if you want to go to turn it off, then you have to have somebody disconnect everything, and it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, for this tractor, this backhoe, what we did to it is, we replaced quite a few lines. I mean, some of them my dad did have already, so they weren't too bad. I think this one we replaced. We replaced this one. There's another one on the other side that we replaced, and then there's one that goes. This one, no, I don't think we replaced that one. That one, I think, no, it was this one here. This one here, I think we replaced. I think, or maybe I don't think we replaced it. We just had to make a different connection for it. And all that connection is it's just a piece of pipe. So we replaced this one here on this side, and then on the other side as well. Which one was it? I think this was the cylinder here that me and my dad replaced. Or we didn't replace it, we rebuilt it. So we pulled this screw out, unscrewed this piece here, pulled the shaft out, and then there's a couple like blocks on there that are on there. One's bolted on, and the other one I think is press fit. I think I could be wrong on that. But we replaced the seals on it, put it back together. It doesn't leak. It doesn't pour oil out like it did before, so that's good. You can see the new seal there. Nice. This one, we went to replace this one because it was doing the same thing that this one was doing. It was dumping out oil, and that's not good. So we went to tear this one apart. We got it all taken off and unhooked and tore apart, and when we went to put it back together, it didn't want to cooperate. So we took it to an Amishman, and I think he was south of, I think my dad said he was south of Ottumwa. I could be wrong about that. But we took it to the Amishman, and he got it fixed up for us, and so we got that one back on there. And I think the last cylinders we're doing are these here steer cylinders, because these ones here were shot. These ones are brand new, so these ones aren't the ones that were shot. These are brand new cylinders. The only issue is we have to research which line went where, because we didn't mark them when we took them off. So we got to figure that on both sides. Once we get that figured, we can hook them up. It'll work right. But we went to take the old cylinders off, and we went to repair them. Here's one of the old cylinders here. It still has the connections on it. We haven't put them on this one yet. And this one's fine to sit out here all it wants to, because it can't get anything in it because these plugs are still in it. But, and this one doesn't really matter because it's the old one. We took this apart and we couldn't get so when we take this one apart, it's the same way as, it's similar to those ones, just on a smaller scale. It has an end at on the end of the ram. You can take it off. You can disassemble that. It has a nut a bolt rather, connecting onto all of the thing for the seals and all that. And then further up, it has another one. Well, we got that first one off, no problem, on both of them. But when we went to go, or maybe it was press fit. I think it was press fit. Because when we went to, no, yeah, it was press fit. Because when we went to take it off, we had to, we heated it up in boiling water and, tried giving it a few love taps, and it didn't want to come off. So we went to use a torch on it, and we hit it one time, not very hard, and when that hammer hit it disintegrated. It flew into a million pieces. So we found out that the inside of those were pot metal. So that's why we had to order the new cylinders. These ones are just sitting there chilling. That one and that one there. You can see them. There's that cylinder there. And that steering cylinder there, both of them. But once we get these on here, I'm hoping, once we get these cylinders on here, I'm really hoping, because the biggest issue that I didn't like about this tractor, there was one issue. It annoyed me whenever I drove it. Let me back up here so you can see this bad Larry. I've driven it from a town from where it is now to South English. I've driven it from here to another buddy's place, probably another 4 or 5 miles outside of North English in that direction. And the one thing that I didn't like about it, I never liked about it, I hated it, is that every time you want to go straight, you have to constantly counter steer. So that means if I'm going straight, I have to constantly counter steer going this way in order to stay straight. And these old cylinders were leaking. So I'm hoping that having these new ones, that these old cylinders, because both of these were leaking, and they weren't leaking from here or any of these fittings, they were leaking from the seal. That's why we were replacing them. Is we went to replace the seals, is because they were leaking out of the seals. We couldn't do that with these, unfortunately, because we couldn't get the thing off to get the other end off. But we did end up ordering new cylinders. Never hurts to have a new cylinder. I'm actually hoping that, like I said, I'm actually hoping that fixes the counter steering problem, or at least makes it better to where it's not 24/7. But this has gone on for about 30 minutes. The video says it's running 2450, but between me doing this video, it's been longer than that. But if I feel like it's worth it. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed it, do try not to like and subscribe if you like this video. If you want more, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you have any of these pieces, if you have any of these pieces of equipment, feel free to let me know any information that you have about this that may help and getting it running right. Let me know about that as well. Any information. It does run, it drives. We have, it does leak oil, hydraulic oil, from time to time. It's not, I don't think it's constant. And what I think it is I think it's just a loose connection. He has a book on that. He has books on all of these. But if there's any information that, I'm basically looking for information that you can't really find in the book, because books can't equate for human error or human experience. You know what I mean? As well as this one, this Bobcat skid steer. We have a buddy who knows how to get it going. The issue we're having with it is we can get the motor running, but it will not move at all. It won't move anywhere. It won't do anything. It won't go forward. It won't go backwards. It will not turn. You cannot raise the hydraulics at all. You cannot tilt the hydraulics at all. I don't know if it's plugged, but my dad said that there's a safety mechanism or something like that in there, somewhere in here, either in here or, in the back. I don't know. He doesn't know. But our farmer buddy, Grant, he knows about it. He's able to find it, but he hasn't been able to come out and find it and help us with it. Because he has other stuff he's got to take care of. I was going to show you guys these garden plots. Stand by and I'll show you those. I'm over here at the garden plots. Check these out. So this one is like 10 foot by 10 foot, 10.5 inches on this one here. These are 4 by 8 foot, these two metal ones. And then this one is, I think it was 14 by 21. 14 this way, 21 that way, I think. But I tilled this one starting off with this tiller. It was going to take too long, so I went to this tiller. And then I got my other tiller going, and I finished it with that tiller. Kind of. This area is also one of those areas that's never been planted in. At least to my knowledge. It's never been planted in. But it wasn't too terribly bad ripping this one up. I did go and I don't even think I went and did that method that I did down at my plot yet. On this, because it wasn't that bad. I did have to go over it twice. But I did get it tilled up pretty decently. I'd say. Walk through it and it feels like dirt. So, I didn't want to get too close to this here cement. This cement wall. Cause I didn't want to get my nice tines into the cement here. It wouldn't have been a good time. This cement wall goes from all the way from, I think it's just about in front of that little wood pile there. So it's right in front of that grass there, all the way to this corner here. And it goes just about to right about here. I'm walking it here. Yeah, somewhere around here. And it might actually be under the dirt here too. Like under the grass and everything. I could be wrong. But it's got this little pad here with all these shelvings, and I mapped this out because my dad wanted me to map it out for him so that he knows what he wants to. I don't know if he knows what he wants to grow, but that way he has an idea of how much space he has to grow stuff. Yeah, 4 by 8 foot on these two. I don't remember what I said on that one, but this one was like 14 by 21. So on this other one. So yeah, if you got to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one, because I'm hoping that The next one's going to be more of a video similar to this one, and hope you guys like it. I am looking for any information that may help with these units, these tractors and stuff that we got out here tinkering on. Yeah. If you have any information that may help us out, feel free to put it in the comment section, and I'll do my best to have a gander at it. Till then, we'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.